So, in honor of the new Superman movie, I thought I'd read a few Superman comics because I never really cared for the guy, honestly. After searching high and low on the internet, I landed on Superman Year One, written by John Romita Sr. and Frank Miller. It's quite the read. I think to explain it properly, I would just have to start going through the book, so. In our intro, we see your basic Superman origin story setup shit. Krypton is dying, and so Superman's parents send him off in a magic rocket to Earth, where John and Martha can't find him and eventually begin to raise him as their own, which I have always loved the idea of farmers just finding a baby and just agreeing to keep it and keep everything quiet and just like, that's our child now. Clark starts school, and of course he befriends the dorks and the weirdos and the one goth student in the whole school. He tries to protect his friends from the nasty bullies. There's a lot of conversations with Clark about not using full force, to hold back because of his powers and his strength, but also to use those powers and his strength for good and to help others. An idea that will weirdly be restated numerous times throughout this book. So basically, Clark befriends a girl named Lana, and she wants to help him bring down these bullies. She says she has photographic proof of the bullies' actions and plans to take these photos to the cops, because the whole school is absolutely terrified of these nasty bullies. But Gothchild overhears this and tells the bullies, and Clark and Lana decide just to meet at like night to talk about their plan. And the bullies ambush Lana and take her camera, and then they heavily imply that they are going to assault her. Superman saves her just in time and flies her home, which confuses me because I thought they were meeting right outside her house. I don't know where they ended up. It doesn't matter. But Lana's more or less like, wait, what? What? And then, what? And then they just start dating. And that's really all we hear about the whole bullying thing, which is shocking because it got really dark and then just gone. So I don't know. They started to date and high school comes to an end. Clark's like, yeah, I got nothing here, so I'm gonna go to the ocean. Also because it's calling to me for some reason. Everyone's like, damn, that sucks. But okay, we quickly move on to our next segment. And then, okay, I'm sorry. It's just like, okay, if they just stole her camera and then he came in to like save them and all that, I feel like it would be a much more heroic, almost cutesy moment. But the fact that they took that turn and decided to go down that alley just made the whole sequence just extremely uncomfortable. And I did not like that. I was, no. Okay, the second chapter is titled Atlantis. We see Clark in basic training, and he's like rising above everyone else, which is funny because it was like, don't go full force. And then in the first part, it shows him like using kind of his abilities to win a football game, and his parents are like, not cool, but like he's just like, I don't care. I'll just keep using my powers to show everyone I'm better. I don't know, man. Like, there's a moment where the drill sergeant says, I ought to shoot you here right now. And I just thought that was a bit much. But his commanding officer takes notice of him. So Clark wakes up early and has a conversation with an officer about mermaids living in the Pacific Ocean, which is right next to their outpost. The officer just full on says that there's mermaids, but like, don't tell anyone or else I'll fucking kill you. Anyway, Clark's like, I'm just gonna go see the mermaids, and guess what? I could breathe underwater. Cool. While underwater, he actually finds like Atlantis destroyed from this big military submarine, and he goes to help him. And while doing that, he meets Lori, and they very quickly fall in love for each other. He helps rebuild part of their city, and he goes back to land. They take him on a mission because a boat got taken over by pirates. So they go there and they shoot them all dead, except for one man who tries throwing a grenade, but Clark just holds the grenade in the attacker's hands and lets it explode. But he and the man are like, alright, I think it's weird seeing Superman use a gun. Alright, Clark gets kicked out because he's too good, and while leaving, Officer Mermaid tells him once again, use your talents for good, not evil. Clark's like, alright, cool, and then hops the gate and just walks straight into the ocean, and the officer's like, oh, that crazy kid, say hi to the mermaids for me. Like, does anyone know or pick up on the fact that this guy is, like, really good at everything he does and seems indestructible? Like, is anyone not catching on that he has powers, or are they just being, like, cheeky about it? Like, I don't know if these people are dumb, or they're being weirdly coy about everything. Jeez. Alright, so Clark then goes to Atlantis. Stay with me here. He spends time with Lori, and in this part of the book, we run into throughout this section we have multiple narrators describing what they are doing and thinking. The only thing that is separating each narrator is the color of their box, and every panel is just so confusing. I had to keep reminding myself who the fuck is talking. For fuck's sake, the Kraken even has a narration box. Anywho's, Lori says she wants Clark to meet her father, and you guessed it, it's Poseidon. He just starts sending dudes after him to kill him, to like test him, but really he's just trying to ice him. Because it is revealed that Poseidon wants to marry his daughter and make her his new queen. Yeah, so this story, I really didn't need to read. Yeah, so to recap, Poseidon wants to marry and copulate with his own daughter, but is angry because she wants to be with Superman. And he sends multiple Krakens after him, but survives. And then Poseidon just gives up and fucks off. And I guess now Clark is king of the sea. Alright, oh, and also when Superman goes to meet Poseidon for the first time, Lori says, dress nice. And he's just in the fucking Superman costume. Like, I don't know if Mama Kent made it for him or what. It's just, he just has it now with him and just wears it. Anyway, so yeah, now I guess he's with the fish girl and fuck Lana, I guess. Alright. It begins, we see Lois Lane in the ocean. Boom. She bumps into Superman, he saves her, and then beats up some soldiers. He finds that Lois is a reporter for Daily Planet, and immediately he's like, yep, that's me. So he goes, I guess, back to Kansas and the college and becomes a reporter and gets conveniently hired as a reporter to, you guessed it, the Daily Planet. So that all happens, and, you know, who the fuck is Lori? So Superman starts cleaning up the city. There's a wonderful moment where Superman tries to be a cool guy. He starts like beating up a bunch of things, and the guys are like, what the hell? And then Superman's like, I'm the hell. It's amazing. While he's at the Daily Planet, he's worried that Lois will recognize him, so we enter Clark Kent's signature glasses, but they don't work because she sees him and she's like, is Clark Superman? So no point to that shit, I guess. There's a bunch of people held up in this building, and Lois is like, let's get into this helicopter and fly like right up to them. And it's like, how is that possible? How can reporters just like she lands on the building like she's a fucking like special agent? I don't understand how they're not like shot down or something immediately, but I digress. Superman saves the day, and it's, wouldn't you know, this is all happening at LexCorp. So Lex gets a hold of Superman and convinces him to fight Batman because Batman's too dangerous. And in this, Batman, you guessed it, uses guns. He is also the equivalent to an edgy middle school child. He's written to be just so pathetic, and like, it's so silly. But anyway, before Superman can even think to fight back, Wonder Woman just shows up. She is just there. And she's like, we can't fight. We all stand for one thing: justice. Get it? Like, like justice. They go back to Luthor, and then they make the smartest decision in the whole book. They tie up Luthor in the lasso of truth and just ask him everything. And he spills all the beans. But then he mentions Brainiac and the lost city of Kandor. Superman's like, I gotta save them. But before he leaves, Wonder Woman stops him and says, like, kiss me. Like, why do all women in this want to fuck Superman? Like, I thought, like, they just met. What is happening? And yeah, and then they kiss, and he just fucks off into space. And that's the end of Superman, year one. Okay, so I don't read much of Superman. I never found him that interesting besides like All-Star Superman. I never got into the Man of Metal, really. That being said, I can obviously appreciate a good story with fun characters and, nice heroic moments. The story has very few of those things. This story has no memorable characters. We bounce from place to place. We don't get long enough time with these people to have an opinion on them. But just as we are starting to somewhat attach ideas to these characters, Superman just fucks off and goes to the next adventure. Most of them also are women who just want to sleep with Superman. And the other people are telling Superman he needs to use his powers for good. The entire book is so repetitive, and the twists and turns they do make is just so confusing beyond belief. There's so many moments where this story tries to be cool. It tries so fucking hard to be cool, and it comes off really forced and ridiculous. It's like reading a parody and not like a even close to a serious story. I don't know if I would recommend this story. It really isn't cool or unique or anything. Honestly, the whole time I was reading it, I was thinking the whole thing looks and reads like a CW DC show. Also, holy shit, I just put this together. All their names begin with L. Lana, Lori, and Lois. Oh my god, this is fucking dumb.